A woman from Stockton Springs is now facing 25 years to life in prison for the death of her son, Maddox. Good evening, everyone. I'm Amanda Hill.
And I'm Pat Callahan. It took hardly any time at all for a jury to find Jessica Trefethen guilty of depraved indifference murder. News Center Maine's Carly Dion has been following the case from the start and joins us now with more on today's verdict. Carly?
Pat and Amanda, it was an emotional day here in the courtroom for many here in Belfast. The jury reaching its decision relatively quickly after about an hour of deliberation. Jessica Trefethen ultimately found guilty of depraved indifference murder in the death of her 3-year-old son, Maddox. Trefethen can be seen here shaking her head and tearing up as the clerk reads the jury's unanimous guilty verdict. Trefethen brought her son Maddox to Waldo County General Hospital in June of last year after he sustained a number of injuries and was acting lethargic. He died shortly after. The medical examiner says his cause of death was blunt force trauma in his abdomen, and his injuries were consistent with battered child syndrome. But Trefethen claimed his injuries were caused by getting caught and dragged by a dog leash and kicked by his older sister. The prosecution entered a number of pieces of evidence in the case, such as clothing the little boy was wearing that day, stained with blood, and pictures of the many injuries on his body. The prosecution also called a number of witnesses to the stand, including Trefethen's mother, her oldest daughter, and the medical examiner, who said some of his injuries were not as recent as others, like his 2 missing front teeth. Maddox's paternal grandmother, Victoria Vose, also testified and shared with me how she wants her grandson to be remembered.
As a normal 3-year-old that was happy and playful and loved at one time, and still is.
I think that what the investigation showed and what the evidence showed was that these injuries could not have been caused in that accidental manner, and that is what the jury's verdict here shows.
Trefethen's lawyers declined to comment this afternoon, and she's continuing to be held without bail until her sentencing, which will likely be in mid-December here at the Waldo Judicial Center. Live in Belfast, Carly Dion, News Center, Maine.